Welcome back to another virtual event with Calyptus. Thank you so much for joining. This is our first time using StreamYard, typically on Zoom, so there might be technical problems, expect some, but yeah, just so we can cover more bases and get through to a lot more of you, a lot more of your builders, and to build with us at Calyptus. If you don't know who we are, we are Web3's leading career platform for experienced builders. Our mission is to help engineers boost their employability with free education or ultimately land their dream job in Web3. This is, of course, our official launch party for our 10th Learn to Earn cohort, in which we're given the opportunity to become a Solana dev within 14 days. We now have a new module from Orao, and so that means we've got 12 awesome projects to build, from your own token now to working in oracles and VRFs to building your own decentralized exchange. And yeah, one of the main things here is that the first 50 builders to complete the curriculum are going to be winning a huge $80 in rewards. It's double what we're used to, but that's in USDT and Orao tokens in July. But yeah, we've had over 900 builders so far come through the curriculum. We've had over 9,000 of these projects actually built since cohort 1 in October. We've had an amazing response from the community on the curriculum, and we hope that you'll enjoy it too. All you need is 1 year of coding experience, and you basically have what it takes to just dive in. Head to calyptus.co and you'll be able to see everything from there and start your Solana journey. Well, that's it. I mean, to celebrate our 10th launch cohort, we have a very special event here today with Orao Network. It is their takeover. We're talking all things oracles and VRFs, verifiable random functions. If you don't know what that means, you're about to find out. And I'm very excited to be sharing this call with the co-founder of Orao Network, Nick S, as they pioneer this space. I think Bruno, second co-founder, is here as well for the call. And after we have a short fireside chat with Nick S, our Solana DevRel Jimmy is going to be giving us a live demo of the most recent module on Orao Network and giving you guys all the cheat codes. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just chuck it in the comments, and we'll hopefully be able to answer any of them as we go through the call. That's it. Without further ado, Nick, are you there?
I am. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here. I'm very happy to be a part of this cohort.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, it's great to have you here. This is our very first Oracles module that we have in the curriculum. It's now the grand finale of our curriculum. It's the very last one. We're saving the best till last. We're super excited to have you guys on and to be building a brand new vertical in our curriculum for Solana. How we love to start these calls when we're talking to any industry leader is to just figure out, what is your crypto story? Would love to get your background and how you made it into this industry.
I would like to start with, it was a long time ago but it wasn't a galaxy far away. I can tell you my first crypto experience in general was when I was paid in Bitcoin. A part of my salary was paid in Bitcoin. That was in 2010, 2012. So that was 14 years ago. It was a long time ago. And as I got those Bitcoin, I immediately sold them. Immediately. When I look at that wallet today, with today's prices, of course, it looks incredible. However, at that time, yeah, I shouldn't. I definitely shouldn't. But yeah, at that time, I mean, it was okay. It was a fast. It was a fast way to get money from abroad. And I remember that as I was selling it, it was transferred to my local bank account on a Sunday, a bank holiday on top of that. So I was very, very impressed with that. I didn't know why that was possible, but it was. Usually banking transactions didn't go through bank holidays, of course. So between that time and 2017, I haven't been exposed to crypto that much. However, on a trip to Tel Aviv in January of 2017, I started talking about crypto. Well, people started talking to me about it, crypto. Then 2 months later, I was in crypto full time. Visited the first conference the same year. Yeah, and the rest is history.
Incredible. That's the exact same time I jumped in as well in 2017. And yeah, you're right. I mean, when we're paying our staff, it goes through instantly, as long as MetaMask is the UX is not playing up. But compared to when bank holidays are flaring up and suddenly everyone's getting upset. So yeah, definitely the experience that we've seen instantly as a benefit and why it's been special. Awesome journey. And I suppose, how did you end up building Orao Network? Like, why oracles, why VRFs? And if you could even just give us a breakdown, but anyone who doesn't know what oracles are or VRFs are, that would be really helpful too.
Sure, let's start with that then. So Oracle is a contract on a blockchain which provides you with a data value. That data can be the word dog, or it can be a number, or it can be whatever you want. It's basically storage on chain. Now, the way that data is updated, that's up to the Oracle provider, to the contract logic, and so on and so forth. What we've seen in early 2020, so after a 2017 bull run and the bear market of 2018, 2019, so on and so forth, is that Chainlink is the only Oracle provider, and they're not a good Oracle provider. Also, they're very, very expensive. It's very expensive to run those nodes, and so on and so forth. And I can say so on and so forth like 17 times, but there are lots of reasons. We wanted to create a fast, a reliable, affordable Oracle service for developers to use, to utilize completely. Developers often and users of those apps often do not use those apps as much as they would like to, just because of the TX fees, right? TX fees plus the Oracle fee plus this plus that. And of course, there's the Oracle maintainers, the people who actually have to update the Oracle data. And you cannot just have one person updating that unless you completely trust that person. You always need to have multiple nodes, not just one or five, or it's best to have 50, 100. Now on Chainlink, that was extremely expensive. On Orao, it's going to be very, very affordable, just like our VRF. So the other question was why VRF as well. Well, VRF is like it was stated before. It's a verifiable random function. The problem that on the blockchain you cannot get blockchains who do not have a native VRF. You cannot just pull out a random number out of nowhere. Usually, what developers used to do is that they generated a random number with with the actual block hash. Now that was unreliable and very insecure, unsafe. There were too many security issues with it because everybody has access to those pieces of information. How our VRF works is that you send a request. The request is stored on chain. Our node providers who are running the nodes, they see that request. I mean, the nodes see that request. They generate randomness. They send it to the contract. The contract checks all the signatures from all the nodes. And then if the signatures are okay, if the Byzantine quorum is fulfilled, then the contract XORs the randomness given by those nodes, and you have a 32 bytes U8 unsigned integer 8 um, array, a list of numbers on Solana, of course, on Solana. But what it enables, why VRF in general? Like VRF enables a lot. It enables so much, from random weapons to character features of character in your game can have completely different features every time you load the game. You can change the storyline. You can create a completely unique experience for every player, and it's verifiable on chain. A lot of people, a lot of developers will immediately think, okay, I can do lottery, I can do stuff like that. However, that's fine, that's all great, but that's not the limitation of VRF. VRF provides randomness, and you can verify it, and it's up to the developer to utilize it. That's about it.
Awesome. So Oracle's bringing real-world data on-chain. You guys are competing with Chainlink at lower costs. You're increasing user adoption because you're at lower costs. You're providing a random number generation in a way that's reliable. And the use cases are essentially things like gaming, as you use there, like character features to guns to NFTs being earned in a very random way, changing even storylines. And the fact is that this is almost like it's pure Web3. This is utterly decentralized. It's in a way that is done reliably and safe and fairly. That is super interesting. And thanks for the lowdown. And I suppose the first question I asked was, so how did you get into Orao Network? How did you get into this in the first place?
Yeah, so we were looking at what services there are on blockchains that we were looking at that time in 2020. And we saw just a couple of Oracle providers. One Oracle provider didn't care, and the second one didn't care even more. And we decided, okay, we need to provide oracles to the general public. It's been a tough journey. It's been a long journey. However, right now we are at 50,000 requests, I think, just for the VRF. Now, when it comes to oracles, we have over 12,000 oracles on testnets currently being used by different developer teams. They're using an SDK which is not public. However, I'll give more information on that a bit later.
Yeah, I mean, let's just jump in with, where Orao Network is right now. You just mentioned like 50,000 requests just from VRF alone.
Yes, on mainnet.
On mainnet, sure. So, what is happening right now in Orao Network? What is happening this year? What can we expect from you guys? You're still in the early days, really, but you must have so much going on. Next bull run.
Yeah, we don't have a time to update our webpage. Basically, when we build all the tools, we're going to focus on the website in general. We're working on a lot of stuff in the background. We're working on our ZK VRF, so zero knowledge VRF, and we've built it for EVM networks. We're deploying our first main EVM mainnet zero knowledge VRF to Polygon. We believe that's going to happen this month. To Polygon mainnet, of course, and DevNet, on testnet, it's already available. That's going to happen this month. Then other than that, what people were looking into was the utility of our token. We're going to offer a token buyback program. Obviously, all of the services, all of the oracles, everything can be and will be paid with the token. The new websites and partnerships are going to be announced. around ETHCC in July, probably first week, maybe second week of July this year. Of course, we're looking forward to publish our pricing Oracle SDK, also pre-ETHCC. And so far, our Oracle SDK, so not the VRF SDK, but the Oracle SDK, that hasn't been public so far. So yeah, this is the short-term plan for Orao.
Awesome. There's a lot going on there. You know, becoming a true multi-chain Oracle network, you guys are clearly like going almost blitzkrieg on this, like spread out, just attacking all of it. You know, wish you the best of luck, and we're so excited to have your module on our platform. One question that we ask pretty much everyone in our newsletter is, what advice would you give to anyone who's entering this space, be it oracles, VRFs? You know, do you have anything to give back to our users on this call who are interested in this topic? And
career advice, right? Okay, so Solana. If you learn Solana, you'll know Rust by default. At least you know most of the syntax. But be brave. Don't copy. Don't block the blockchain. Use all of the AI tools that are at your disposal to offset your workload, because you'll have time to work on the details later. But yeah, be brave. Be fast as well. Solana's the good blockchain. It's fast. It has its hiccups. It has its own problems, and but we are investing a lot of time and effort into Solana, but we're investing into other blockchains, and hopefully we'll have another call like this for another chain soon.
Cheers, Nick. Love that. Be brave. I think that's the first thing. That's something that no one's actually put onto our newsletter ever. I think it's always been like join communities, but to be honest, that's just like a mental attitude. You know, be adventurous.
Exactly.
Be daring,
you're the heroes. You guys are the heroes. If you are building, it's not going to be your neighbor who's going to build the next PayPal, the next Revolut, the next whatever, right? I mean, this is Web3. Yeah, be brave. Be brave. Just do it. Just do it.
Perfect. Well, Nick, thanks so much for joining this call. I know you guys are unbelievably busy right now. So thank you so much for joining. And I suppose over now to Jimmy, if you're with us, to run through our latest module on VRS and even actually go through some of the code and give you some of the cheat sheets. Jimmy, you there?
Hey, what's up? Sorry for that.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey. Nice. Yeah, so I don't think I can top what Nick said. Introductions, I'm Jimmy. I work as the Solana DevRel at Calyptus, and hopefully you'll be able to learn a little bit about VRS as we move along. So in the module that we've just introduced, we build an on-chain guessing game where we call the Orao VRF to give us some random number, and then we compare it with your guess, and then we tell you if it's correct, if it's not. But before we do all that, let's first understand what VRFs are, yada, yada, yada. So before going into VRFs, we have to talk about randomness, or randomness in computer science. Computers generally only process what you give them, right? So you've had the phrase garbage in, garbage out. That means whatever you give a computer, that's what it's going to give you out. And as such, you can probably guess that randomness isn't random at all. It's a sort of predefined algorithms, which are called pseudo-random number generators. So These are algorithms that have already been defined that the computer will use to generate your seemingly random number, but it's in fact not random. As Nick previously mentioned, randomness on chain, or rather people have tried to achieve randomness on chain using various things, such as using the block hash, but those things aren't really secure because a user or an attacker can figure out what your random number generator will generate at a particular time, and if he knows that, he can attack you. He can attack your program. So how will this, let's say, attack look like? Let's say you're building a coin flip program where if a user guesses the correct between heads and tails, if the user guesses the correctly, he gets some amount, right? And you've gotten up people to contribute some pool of money on chain, right? If the attacker figures out your algorithm, he could basically win every round and get the money. So it's not very secure. In comes in the verifiable random functions. These are cryptographic primitives that provide a way to generate random numbers in a verifiable manner. So what this algorithm or function takes in is it takes in a seed. This seed will be used to generate the random number, and then it provides you with the random number and the output, which seemingly looks random but isn't random. The good thing about this random number generated is that it's generated by a consensus of people or a consensus of nodes, and you can verify that yes, this is the random number that was verified against what you have or what you've gotten. Yeah. So this was a video of how Orao works, but I think Nick already went over that. No need to repeat what he said. And so, yeah, let's look at the code. So is my screen visible?
We can still see the current slide talk is cheap. It might be loading now.
Yeah, it's there. So in the code, here is how it would look like. So you first, in Solana, as you know, everything is an account. So we are going to load up all the accounts. Let me...
Yeah, zoom in quite a lot, Jimmy, and maybe make the screen full if you can.
Yeah, just now. So is it good now?
Can you go even more?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, that's just about legible. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So on Solana, as we begin out, we have to specify all the accounts that you are going to be touching. And since we are interacting with the Orao VRF program, we are going to need to put in the accounts for their program that you are going to be touching. So the standard payer, the signer who's going to pay for this transaction, and then the Orao accounts. This is the network state. We are using these seeds and the bump and the program to verify that this account that has been passed is indeed the network state account that exists on the Orao VRF. We then pass in the treasury account. They have to make money somehow. The random account, this is where our random number is going to be generated. And we are going to read from this account, as you'll see in the instruction function above, to see whether the guest user input is the one that we've received from the Orao VRF. The VRF program and the system program. We make the request down here, and then these are our instructions. So the first one initializes our random account. So that's where the random number is going to be generated and passed into. And then we're going to read from that account down here in the guess function or instruction. So we get the data. It's already typed for us. So we are using, this is a utility function I copied from their program examples. So we check if the data is empty. If not, we try to deserialize it and get the output. And this randomness account contains the seed and then the randomness, which is a bit array. We are going to just read the first, let me show you. We're going to read the first byte because we don't want to read the whole array, and then determine using that if the user's guessed number, is it too small, too big, or is it the correct number? So with those very few lines of code, you build yourself a program that calls the Orao VRF and generates a random number on chain. This is on the client side. I should mention that if you are not going to be building an on-chain program, you can just access all these methods and functions from the Orao SDK. They have a TypeScript and Rust SDK, which you can use without writing your own program. Yeah, that's it for me.
Also, I'd like to add something, if I may. The current SDK version for the VRF is 0.3.0. We've finished developing our 0.4.0, so an iteration above. And what we've optimized is the storage, the Solana rent cost, which is going to be returned to the requester as soon as the randomness is fulfilled. So perhaps in 2 or 3 seconds. Right now, we are able to fulfill randomness in sub-seconds on Solana. Just so you know.
That's brilliant. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for that run through. Nick, Bruno, thanks for joining this call with us to talk all about Orao. We're super excited for all the users to be actually going through this module. Guys, as you do go through it, please jump into our Discord. We're there 7 days a week to answer any of your questions, not just in this module, but for all of them. And just again, this is an $80 reward for the first 50 devs. So get started, jump in now. And we're here to help with every step of the journey. But guys, Nick, Bruno, Jimmy, thank you so much. To everyone in the community, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
See you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.